Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Otaku Tea Podcast.
Otaku Tea Podcast, episode
Otaku
number 14.
Tea 14. Jesus Christ.
What? It's a number.
I know, it is. It is. We should have more than this, but you know what? Life
Uh,
sucks.
then we need to stop skipping.
I know. For
Stop
those
playing
who.
hooky.
What?
Stop playing hooky.
Hooky?
Have you not heard of that phrase before for
Nope.
skipping school?
Nope.
What?
Never.
Oh, you're not a 90s kid.
Hooky? Listen, I don't know where you got that from, but we don't say hooky.
What do you say?
I don't know.
What do you... Oh, you're one of
Delinquent.
those people that don't skip school, huh?
I never did. The one time I actually thought I did, the teacher had already dismissed us. And I found out the next day, so I technically didn't skip.
Like they canceled or like
Yeah,
what
so I
happened?
had just walked out of the school and I'm like, haha, first time skipping, I'm a rebel. I come in the next day and it was like, oh no, he canceled class, so everyone in that class could go home. And I
That
was
was
like,
in
oh
that was in high school?
yeah.
You can just leave high school whenever?
No, you had to sneak out. That's why I thought I was a rebel.
Was
But
it the last class of the day or something?
yep,
Oh,
it was sign language.
so it didn't really have a way to tell you from a distance.
I mean, he could speak. I was just taking the class.
No, I know. It's not a funny joke.
I got it
Because it
just
also doesn't
now.
make sense since you can see sign language from far away, and even if you can't hear it. So that would
Yeah.
actually be the opposite.
Oh gosh, that was a fail.
Uh, eh, eh.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
What is happening? Oh man, this
I just
week
had a hairball.
it's apparently
Furball. Furball.
furball.
Eh.
I don't know. This week has just been really weird, off, unamusing for
How
like
come?
work and stuff.
What's been going on?
Oh my gosh, you don't even know half of it, bruh. We had this meeting for like grade team meetings for high school. I teach ninth grade. So the ninth grade has to, have a meeting, all the ninth grade teachers. And I have two students that have complete confidence in and trust in that whatever they hear they won't repeat. So I had them join in on the Zoom call without being in the Zoom call because I was on one Zoom call with them because it was like at the end of class and they just wanted to hang around, so I just kept them on the call. And then it was time for me to go to the other meeting, so I just logged in on that Zoom meeting on my phone while I had them on my computer. They heard the whole meeting and it was hilarious because they were just like, what kind of BS was that whole thing? And I was like, listen, it's what I have to deal with. You really think I like coming to these meetings? Because it was nonsense. It was teachers against teachers. Like me and the English department in that whole meeting, we were just sitting there laying back like, so what are we doing again? Because it still seems like we're nowhere near close to agreeing on anything. And it's like, okay, we've agreed on something. What do we agree on? That everything's fine. What's fine? How is anything fine? We haven't agreed to anything. And yeah, so that was just a whole meeting. That was an hour wasted. I was planning on watching a Korean drama with the two students because they wanted me to watch Korean drama, and I was still on the clock, so why not?
Uh huh.
And I couldn't because that meeting took the whole entire time, and they were just there like, bruh, this is why we don't like certain teachers. And I was like, listen, you think that they're different behind closed doors? No, they're exactly the same behind closed doors. Believe me, I see that.
So then, what do they? What were they supposed to do?
We were just supposed to plan a schedule for the students who are failing for us to pass them, even though they had a whole marking period to pass and they didn't. So now we have to force them to pass if we even can. But apparently, from what I'm seeing, the whole schedule thing again is that we're doing the exact same format like we did last marking period that completely failed. And he thinks second time might be the charm. And we're like, but it didn't work the last time. So why the hell are we doing it again? I don't understand.
Uh
And how was your work today? Any interesting tales?
huh. No, just more. Uh, I don't know. Bad people doing bad things.
Bad people doing bad things.
Yeah,
Oh gosh.
and just like I don't know, they just hate being nice to people, so they just have problems with everyone, and it's just problems all around all the time.
That sucks. Sounds like my school.
I mean, like, I don't really want to bring up the issues unless you want to talk about what they're discussing,
Well, we gotta make this interesting, right?
I guess. But like, there was like we could take a recent example, like the shooting in the I think FedEx in Indianapolis or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I mean, basically they were saying, "Oh yeah, that's terrible. Like they really should do something about it." Blah blah blah. But then there's no outrage or anything, and yet, because like, how many people died in that? Like eight,
I believe so. It was like 8 people.
right? And then with the vaccine, the Johnson and Johnson that they had to put on pause because some people were getting like blood clots or whatever. I think it was
Yeah.
like 7 people, and then one person died from that. I think, and they were like bringing that up as an issue, like, oh man, like the vaccines are giving us problems. Maybe we shouldn't really take the vaccines. Like one person died from millions of the vaccine being distributed to those people,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't want any like gun control or anything because like shootings happen daily in the United States, and they just say nothing about that.
Right. It's just ignorant people, to be honest.
It's not even. It's not ignorance. It's just.
It's, how would you even? Because I'm lost for words, to be honest. Like,
I would call them psychopaths, really.
I mean, honestly, I don't know how to feel. Like, everybody has their own opinion about the vaccine and all. Like, I've heard people who've had COVID still say they don't trust in the vaccine because it's too soon. But if you had COVID, wouldn't you be more inclined to, like, take the vaccine because you had it? Your antibodies isn't going to save you 100% of the time. I'm just saying. But shouldn't that kind of push you to take it? I know there's the anti-vaxxers that think that, oh, like something about the vaccines doing something to you and your kids. And then I have other people who are saying, like, well, the government have something to do with it. I'm like, obviously the government has something to do with that vaccines, 'cause no shit, right?
Yeah,
um but like, it's like, oh, they're probably gonna put something in you and this and that. I'm like, I'm sorry, if you drink tap water, the government already got you. I'm not even gonna lie about that. I don't drink tap water because, one, tap water tastes disgusting to me. So, and if anything, worry
but
about your phone. Your phone is the main tracker for you. And the second you are born, you belong to the government. What can you hide from at this point? There's no way of hiding it. So if the vaccine is like your thought of the government's doing something to me, they already did. I'm just saying.
right, but like bottled water is just tap water, though.
Just
For,
better tap water.
yeah, it is better, even though New York City's supposed to have like one of the best tap waters in the world, but it doesn't taste that great.
No, and which is why I still buy my water. A lot of people think that's crazy, but I buy my water. I don't
Uh
care what
huh.
anyone thinks. Just because I don't like the taste. And
Right.
I guess I could afford it. My family's fortunate enough to afford to buy our own water. So, not
Right.
even just like bottles, like not just going to Dwayne Reed and being like, yeah, let me get a water bottle today. It's like, no, we have like the whole, what's it called? That gallon thing and the machine, the water dispenser.
Uh, tanks. I guess you can call them tanks.
I guess so. And
Uh,
we're not talking about like buying an item to filter tap water. No, literally, we buy
it's the 5 gallon.
the 5 gallon. Yeah, I think it is the five
Yeah.
gallon bottle, and then just put it onto our water dispenser machine
Right.
and just get the water from there. And also because they were really popular back in the day. Like I remember I think it was every Saturday morning or every Monday morning, the Poland Spring driver will come up with like their cases of like 5 gallon waters and stuff and like distribute it to the people who actually do have the machine. We give back the old bottle, they give us a new one with water, and they would be like that um every week.
Right.
However, and people stopped using it. I don't know why, but like it was more popular back in the day. I feel like we're the one of the only families still that still have that.
Uh huh.
They do it in supermarkets as well. It's like 7.99 for Poland Spring. You bring back your old bottle, you buy a new one, you use it, you drink it, and
Okay.
then
So you can still exchange at your local supermarket.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So like instead of having to buy, um, I think there's an extra fee if you don't bring back the actual 5 gallon bottle, whatever. So
Well,
like it's
you have to pay a deposit probably, right?
yeah, that's what
And
it
then you get
is.
your deposit applied to towards your next purchase or something like that, right?
As long as you return the 5 gallon bottle, then it yeah you'll be fine. But that's just what we do too, and it's I mean I don't know I don't find it a big problem with doing that. So like I said, like I've heard different stories from different people. I'm now fully vaccinated, which thank God I got Moderna, which it was like a 3 week period in between the first dose and the second dose.
Right.
Um, the second dose, however, oh, bruh. Okay, here's the thing. It was supposed to hit about 8 hours later. It hit me around like 12, 13, 14 hours later, and I felt weak. I felt a huge headache. Worst of all, I didn't eat all day.
That's probably what made it worse.
Yeah, it definitely made it worse like that. The only thing I had that day was literally my Starbucks drink that I get every morning.
Uh huh.
Um,
So it's probably like just like how some pills you're supposed to eat have like with your meal,
yeah, like
and then they
vitamins too.
like hurt your stomach or whatever if you don't eat while taking them because they're like scrunching up your insides or something.
Right. Like I did that once with my vitamins. Had no food beforehand and drank my
The
vitamin.
hair vitamin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was like the worst feeling I've ever felt, so I stopped doing that.
Uh huh.
Um but yeah, it wasn't bad. I mean, I had to go through work. I was supposed to. A lot of people were telling me, "Why in the fudge did you not take off?"
Yeah, like
And
me.
and I was like, if I am already in my principal's radar, I cannot have the luxury right now to take off, even if I wanted to. So I didn't take off. So I sat through the whole day suffering. Like I was in constant pain. Like I was in so much pain. It felt like torture. Trying to teach in person slash remote was like the worst thing. Like my legs were like numb but in pain at the same time. So like I wanted to like get up, but once I got up, I wanted to sit right back down. But once I sat right back down, I wanted to just get up. Like it was a constant like my body didn't know what it wanted, but I had to just sit through it in constant like shaking my leg in constant pain, like trying to keep a smile on my face. I had chills. So even though it was very like it was good weather outside, but I just felt freaking cold. I
Uh
couldn't
huh.
take off my sweater because I knew the second I did that, I would get even more cold. But I kept my sweater on and I was freaking hot. So it was just like constant torture for that whole day until my coworker, who did have already her second dose, told me, "You should have told me to bring you Tylenol. Like, I don't know what you're doing." And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know." So she got me Tylenol. After I took two pills of them, then I felt a lot better after 30 minutes of waiting for the Tylenol to activate. And
Right.
then I had to retake another set of Tylenol because after maybe like 3 hours, about 3 hours,
Yeah,
the
that's
pain.
about how long Tylenol lasts.
Yeah, about 3 hours later, it hit me all again, and I just felt like I just needed to lay down. Not even to stand up, not even to just sit down. I needed to lay down, like, and I did. And then I'm like, well, I still have to wait a couple of more hours before I take another set of pills. So I just sat there and waited out. I was like sweating. Um,
Yeah, you have to wait 6 hours between each
Mm-hmm.
dosage.
So after that, I took another set and I felt better. The next day in the morning, I was just like, I can't even go into work like I usually would, but I didn't. So I just stood home. I kept my camera off on Zoom. Um, I didn't call off because I technically was. I don't have to go into the class on school on a Friday. I could if I want to, but I didn't. So I
Okay,
kept
so
my
they don't require you to be there on Fridays.
no. Well, at least for me, I'm only required to be in there Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Uh huh.
So I didn't have to, but I could if I wanted to. So I just kept my camera off. I told my students, listen, if you hear me a little bit, it's because I'm kind of sick. Don't worry about me. We're gonna focus on the lesson and moving on. Which it worked. I still ran my club like usual. I couldn't participate because I was dying basically still, but it wasn't as bad as the day before.
So you had like 2 days of symptoms.
One full day of horrible symptoms. The next day was like the aftermath. Like my body was tired
Uh huh.
after trying to battle all the symptoms I had the day before. So the it was just like tiredness and lightheaded.
Right.
And that was it.
Yeah, I haven't been able to schedule my vaccination yet.
Which now they're allowing most people to do, like to get it now.
Yeah, as long as you're 16 and over, I think you can schedule in most
Hmm.
places. So, stuff is still fully booked, but I'm trying to see if I can get an
Have you
appointment.
tried pharmacies?
Yeah, that's where I've been looking since hospitals aren't really accessible near me if I need to actually drive there because there's no parking.
Right.
And I don't really want to take public transportation before I have my vaccination, just like as a normal idea for me. I don't know. I just don't think that you can really take public transportation unless you're vaccinated.
I mean, I still did, and I wasn't vaccinated. It's just as long as you're careful, to be honest.
Yeah,
Still a risk, but
it's just because I'm around people who literally don't care and
true.
just don't have masks. I could be a carrier at any moment, and I
Hmm.
really don't feel like spreading that to other people
I
until
still
like
can't believe you
at
work
least
with type of people like that.
yeah. I don't know. Does the vaccination stop you from being a carrier, or just like reduces the possibility?
I think it reduces. Again, I don't want to be quoted on that, but it's. I guess it kind of works the same way as the flu shot. Like your body just knows what to fight if it ever comes in you.
Uh huh. But it doesn't affect the transmission.
Mm, not sure. That I don't know.
Because if it doesn't really affect you or as bad or whatever it does, then that means like it's not reproducing as much in your body, which would reduce the risk of transmission. But I don't know if that's how it works.
I honestly I had no idea. Once I heard that the vaccines were available, that's when I just like started to like get I don't know, wait for my appointment to get one. Because for me, it was the union that got me my vaccine
Right.
appointment. I
Which
know a
is
lot of people.
one thing that they were able to do for you
Yeah, one thing.
out of the many
Um,
things that you need.
yeah, but I'm
It
good
worked
now.
out. It worked out.
It worked out. My dad got his second dose. My mom and my brother now have appointments next no in 2 weeks. They get their first one. So
Th- Does your mom still work as like a substitute teacher?
she's still looking for jobs. She's unemployed currently.
Okay. So
That's
like
why she
I was
couldn't
a little
get hers.
right. I was a little surprised she wasn't already vaccinated at that point.
Yeah, once basically who you don't have a job, you don't get it because you're not priority anymore.
Right. Makes sense, but
Makes sense,
still,
but that
still
sucks.
sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, like, bruh, I'm still a teacher. Like, let me get it.
Oh, you lost your job? Eh,
Eh,
we don't really care about you anymore.
exactly. You can wait in line.
You can probably die. We don't care.
Oh my gosh, no. No, no, no. Why? I don't understand. Like, I've said this before, and like America's really not getting better. I mean, no, but like I will say, with our new president, things have gotten better. More things have been able to push through. Um, we now have the vaccines, and they're coming out real quick for us, We
Yeah,
finally
I
got
think we're actually getting vaccines faster than most other countries, which is
yeah,
really good,
that's good.
especially since because we've had such a high infection rate.
But the thing is, Americans don't give a
I mean, it seems like enough do such that there's fully booked
no, no,
everywhere
I know,
for
but
vaccines. So, like, I don't know.
I'm just saying because like every other country understands that this is an issue, while we were still like half of us were like, okay, we know this is an issue. The other half is, what issue? I don't see an issue. What is that? I don't know her. That's not my problem. I don't care about them. I don't care about you. Like,
Well, there's people like that in every country.
oh,
It's
definitely.
just that in the United States, that group has gotten louder
No,
about
and
it.
not
So, like,
even that.
yeah,
Not even that. Because, in like, for example, just take the Asian countries, right? Masks is like a thing that people use even when you have a small cough. No one looks at you like, oh, the government is controlling your body just by having you wear a mask, right? It's like, no, I'm just being considerate for myself and for others.
right,
Like, that's just what we do here. America's the spoiled child that gets to scream, have a tantrum, smack people, kick, and annoy you for the next 3 hours until they get what they want.
right.
That's a bad thing because we don't have like self or respect, not even self respect, but just respect in general for everybody else. Some states do have more than others, but that's again saying a lot.
Uh
Like,
huh.
it's not like a universal thing. Like, for example, in Japan, everyone knows you're wearing a mask because you are being, again, you're being considerate. Here, it's like, well, I have a health condition and I'm not allowed to wear a mask. Like, I've never heard a doctor say there's health conditions that prevent you from wearing a mask.
Right.
It's inconvenient, yes, obviously, but other than that, nothing. Or it's like, this is us, this is the government trying to control my body. I get to say whatever I want to say about my body, but yet these same people are against abortions. Like, what makes make this make sense? Like, I don't understand.
And if you wanted the government to not supervise you or like do surveillance on you, then you would want to wear like a full mask covering your entire face so that the cameras can't recognize you. Like,
They don't think like
why
that.
would they do the opposite?
I don't know. This is America, to be honest,
They just have no mask. They're shouting, spitting everywhere, getting their DNA everywhere so that the government can track them better.
right? And same thing with like, this is the land of the free, quote unquote. This is the land built on immigrants, quote unquote. But yet, look at everything that's going on in this country. We still have black people getting shot by the police. We have Asians getting killed by other civilians or being attacked by other civilians. Literally, was it a 13-year-old boy, Mexican descent, died. So now it's also the Hispanic group getting attacked. Like, where is there any place in America right now that tells us, yes, we are the land of the free, of the equality of immigrants, when the minority groups are the ones being attacked, being shown off as like the worst kind of people?
Well, the only people that matter are the white males, and they are the ones that created Manifest Destiny and killed all the Native Americans. So
Yeah,
it's tradition at this point.
it is, but like, it shouldn't be normalized. Like, Jesus, like I said before, and I don't know if I said it in the podcast, but I have told like friends and stuff. Like, how is it that we're technically the only country? Like, we know a lot of countries fought in World War II to stop Nazi Germany, but yet we're the only country who has neo Nazis. We have the thing that we went to war to fight against.
We have
What?
members of Congress that are re-establishing the America First movement, which was a pro-Nazi movement in America during World War II. They're just introducing that and trying to make that normal, and then trying to say that the liberal left is creating a race issue where there isn't one. Like
But
what?
that is the
What
point. The Nazi plan was like a quote unquote race issue.
exactly?
How is that not a race issue? And if you try to, change it now because it's 2021, it's still a fucking race issue. You can polish a turd and it's still a turd. Like it's does not that's not gonna change. Like
And you can start like a pro American, pro nationalistic movement, and like try to uh, get the country back together, whatever you want to do with that. But don't use the same terminology that the Nazis used. Like that makes no sense.
honestly, I don't know. And same thing, like again, also the Nazis are as an example. The Confederate flag, the Confederacy. That is a country that doesn't exist anymore, and that
It never did.
it never did. That
They lost.
country, quote unquote.
They're flying losers' flags. Why do they want to be losers?
No, and the thing is that these same people who are literally are like pro Confederacy,
Uh huh.
the Confederacy was against the United States, but yet we're American here. But yet we're pro Confederacy, and the Confederacy was against the United States. So then, are you here for America or are you here for the opponent? Now, if
They're here for whatever's convenient, as long as they themselves can get government benefits and pay and not pay a dime to the
but that, oh my
federal government.
gosh, that's the thing too. And same thing again, going back to like the mass shootings we've been having, like literally under Trump's presidency, how many mass shootings have we had? All right, and now going back to the newest one we had, right? They want to blame it to mental health issues. Okay, if most of our mass shooters, which
Or
again are
they were bullied, so they
right,
turned to violent video
but
games, and that's
honestly,
why they became a
but
shooter. Like, what
the
is that?
and it's funny because on TikTok there was a TikTok that was like
But if it's anyone of minority, then it's a gang shooting,
related or
right? Gang related or a crime criminal. But if it's a white person, then they were just having a mental health issue.
a bad day.
Yeah.
Having a bad day. No, but I'm saying there's a TikTok and it was trying to make fun of this whole fact of because not because it's funny, but because of how ridiculous this issue is. It's
Uh
like
huh.
a teacher with a bunch of like first graders. They're like, okay, we're going to practice surviving a mass shooting, a school
Oh my
shooting,
god.
and the kids were like, "Yay!" And then the teacher was like, "Who wants to be the shooter?" And
Oh my
two
god.
minority kids were like, "Me, me, me." And then the teacher was like, "No, no, no. You know that the shooter is mostly white and male, so let's have Tommy here be the mass shooter, and everyone else, let's get ready in position. Let's start running." And I'm like, bruh. Like
I
it
think haven't some schools had like shooter drills or something?
no, yeah, especially the places that there already was mass shooting or school shootings, in fact.
Right.
Like when they wanted to give teachers guns, I was like, this is not the job I signed up for. One, two, why the hell is this being so normalized that you
Uh
got to
huh.
give teachers now guns? When the perfect thing we should be doing
And
is
guns don't
have
solve problems.
gun control. We could easily have gun control like we do have when we want to get our license to drive. Why is it that we can't do the same thing? Except with the gun control, we pass a mental health exam before you get a gun. Background checks, everything. Like, I don't understand. If we have a whole pattern here,
Well, there is like a background check for guns, right? But I
it's
don't think
not
it's
as
really
that
that
serious. It's not
right.
that serious, though. Like, you could already have a felony in your background, and they're like, okay, we can still trust you. Like, again, it also depends because some stuff is probably for like minor drug related issues, and again, that is something I don't agree with. Like with the amount of time, like how does a rapist get like 12 months in prison, but yet somebody who has what, a pound of weed gets like 10 years or 15 years in prison? Like those
Right.
numbers make no sense to me. This person, this male or this female raped someone, took their life, not even in the they killed them, because a lot of cases these people end up do killing their victims, but the victims that are staying alive, you took their life away. How the hell do you expect them to be the same person after that. But
Right.
yet you only get 6 months, 12 months, maybe 2 years. You get a taste of prison, while somebody who probably, because most of the people who sell drugs probably already came out of prison and they were left with no other choice but to sell drugs, or their situation has been so bad that no matter what they do, that's the only thing they can do. And it only applies to mostly minority groups, where it gets to, oh, you have a pound of drug, or you have this amount of drugs, and you're the selling, you're not even the user, you're selling them. Oh, 15 years, let's go, buddy. We're gonna ruin your life again.
Right.
And on top of that, again, there are white people who are selling and doing the exact same thing, but the cops turn a blind eye, or mostly the white people are using it, and again the cops still turn a blind eye. And then once like the person like go overdoses, or it finally gets caught, it's like, again, they're all their life it was a tragedy. You don't even know, like, fucking stepped on his pencil, like, and that was it. He lost it. He lost it.
Uh
What
huh.
do you mean he lost it? Okay, and let's say we finally admit that mental illness, because apparently mental illness in America doesn't exist. Once we claim that mental illness is a universal problem, let's give universal health care to solve this universal health problem. No, 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 no. That's where you're taking it up the ass, my good sir.
Whoa.
That's too expensive for America. Oh, so mental health issues are a universal problem, but we can't use universal health care to fix that problem because it's too expensive, but actually will benefit us having a universal health care where everyone can get the support that they need. But because it's too expensive for America, we don't do it. We pay a lot of taxes already. What's the difference at this point?
I mean, we pay in taxes for healthcare, and we also pay individual insurance companies,
Exactly.
and we still have to pay out of pocket costs regardless. So it's more
Exactly.
expensive for us than universal healthcare would ever be.
That's exactly my point. Like, again, make things make sense. I don't understand what this is a problem. And the thing is, what amendment is it to bear arms? The second one?
Yeah.
The second amendment says all men can bear arms. All right, but
Well, that was related to militia anyway.
yeah, and that was only according to back in the day when shit was like real during that time. Now
Yeah.
we
That was
don't
when
need
we
it.
wanted to fight against the British because we needed guns for that.
Yeah. So what are we fighting against right now?
We're protecting our interest in third world countries, so we need to provide a defense for that for some reason,
But
even though we invaded other countries.
also, we have a whole fucking military for that. Let the government handle that. You put away your fucking gun because it does not make you a better person, nor does
But
it
they
make you
need
a
to
good
protect
citizen.
themselves from the
No,
undesirables.
the thing is that a lot of these people who are gun holders live in the fucking suburban areas.
Right, but it's exactly that. They
What
want to
are they
protect
protecting themselves for? A rat?
from robberies and thieves and drug dealers,
Bruh.
aka
Again,
minorities, as they call them.
yes, and again, make it make sense. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand.
I mean, if you treat these people as psychopaths, it makes sense. Like, they just want to shoot someone.
Oh, definitely. It would make it easier, but again, we're putting a title on people. They don't like
Mm,
that. And then they're getting sensitive for what? Again.
but they're snowflakes.
Oh my gosh. Bruh. Also,
Snow
guess
tastes good, though.
what's guess what's another thing I found on TikTok? And I'm not saying TikTok is the biggest and the best place to get your information, right? Never that. I'm not saying Twitter is a good place to get your information, or I'm saying that Facebook is a good thing, a place to get information. You should get your information from like actual sources, like newspapers and like news places.
Can you call those
I mean, even
reliable?
I mean, I even that. Because, like, literally, we have all these other channels kind of giving the same news, but then we got Fox News giving the stupid bullshit that these people love hearing. Like, I don't understand. I don't know anymore. But what I'm saying is, on TikTok, there's a thing that's kind of a little alarming. I don't know if you heard this from anywhere else, but apparently on April 24th, which is next Saturday, or this coming up Saturday, is Rape Day.
What?
You heard me correctly. Rape Day. I swear. Where the hell? Oh my god. Yo, I can't. I can't. Okay, and there's a lot of people sharing the video because it's like, this is disgusting. We're not sure if it's real or not, but all females, especially because it's the female majority who does get, raped, but there are males out there that also do get raped. So again, it's both genders, but statistically it's mostly females. So there's a lot of people sharing this video saying, females, please do not go outside by yourself.
Right.
Don't go outside by yourself. Be in a group of 4 or 5 people at the least if you're going to go outside. Also, I'm not saying stay inside, because you do what you need to do, because this shouldn't be a thing that you should even be worrying about, which is 100% correct. Why, as me, as a female, have to worry about me being getting raped? Because Saturday is rape day. What the f- is that? What the hell is that? That gets me so angry. And also, and I'm glad that there's a lot of guys too that are putting this information out there for like the safety of females, because they're saying again, they're saying in this quote unquote way, and like the majority of us men do not agree with this. So whoever the fuck is this tiny ass group of wieners, okay, because they're weenies who don't have
Uh huh.
an actual brain. If you need help, they said, if you need help, because the majority of us men do not agree with this, if you need help, you whisper in our ears that someone's trying to follow you or somebody's trying to do this, we will protect you. Same thing with females. Like, females have also said this, like, come up to me, pretend you're my BFFF, best friends forever, bitch. I will fucking protect you. Like, you will be in our group. Like, that's the thing. Why are we having to have these alliances of having to like, yes, strangers should help, obviously, 100%. Like, you come up to me and be like, you need my help, I will help you. There's a guy following you, bitch, we going to GameStop. I'm gonna show you all my favorite Funko Pops for like 20 minutes, and then check outside, this motherfucker still outside. Like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't
again,
know.
why is it that
It's
this
probably
these
not
things?
worth taking the chance though, because there are people that are gonna go out and try to do this.
Yeah, even if it is a fluke, or if it's a just big as prank, which, by the way, if it is a prank, then fuck you, whoever tried to do that prank, but fuck you, okay? But if it is like a pretend thing, I know there's some motherfuckers out there who are going to do it anyways, thinking that it is a real thing and it is a real holiday. Bro, no. And like you said, the only way to make things make sense if you call them psychopaths, which honestly, I kind of do agree. But again, why is it that literally, it's not even now that we have a new president that's the problem. It was our old president who brought up every shit that people already had in their teensy weensy little hearts, brought it into light, and now it's becoming a normality again after years of being able to at least suppress most of the shit. Am I saying that we were in a utopia where everything is all bunnies and daisies and flowers? No. There was a lot of issues that we still needed to have fixed, but now it's like, well, not only we need to fix the issues that we were supposed to fix, but now we got to fix these issues of people doing the shit that they were told that was a bad thing for many years.
Right.
And this just gets me so angry. I don't know, like this again, Biden probably needs more. Like, he just started. I'm not gonna put the blame on him, because it's literally from he's taking the that he got from whatever damage happened in 4 years, the past 4 years, and he has to take it on,
Right.
going back to reunite the citizens, even though we were never united, but it was way better than how it is now. Again, it wasn't perfect. It was never nowhere near close to perfect. But at least these motherfuckers out here who are willing to, go out, kill minorities, beat up minorities, kidnap minorities because they think it's fun, discriminate minorities. Like, before, they were looked down for doing that in public. Now it's okay. And that is so sad.
Right.
And
I mean,
imagine what?
no, I mean, like, I don't really know what else you can really do about it other than just tell people that they're wrong for thinking this way because there's just no way of talking with these people.
Honestly, and I give you props for working from with most of these people because I don't know.
I don't know either.
Because like I do have from suspicions and from rumors at my school, we probably have one or two of those people um, in there. But again, they don't say anything because obviously, if you're in an educational setting, you obviously know like this is an obvious thing. You need to be accepting with all students. Why be a teacher or why work with anything in the education system where you have to deal with all students and have that mindset? So at least from what in at least in some educational aspect, like that is still harshly put like looked down upon. So even if you do have that mindset, you're not allowed to even get close to bringing that opinion in anywhere near kids and other staff members.
Right. Which only makes sense because obviously it's not a good opinion or thought to have. So why are you doing that?
Yeah. And it's we also have some students who are Trump supporters or believe the things that we believe. I mean, not we believe, but what they believe. Um, but even with that, like we open the space and we also tell them, but what if that were to happen to you though? Would you like it? No, right? So I just want to know what makes you think that what the way you're thinking is okay. Like we have it open to discussion, hoping that we might change their mind. Again, it's not a whole thing. It's just to like, get perspective. And
Right.
especially you can't have that same mindset as a student. If you're a kid hearing this, think about it. As a kid, you can't be the one kid going into a very diverse school and think your opinion is superior to the others. That doesn't work that way. It really does not work that way.
Uh huh.
Whole school will be against you, and then you're gonna feel like you're panicking because the whole world is against you, and then you're gonna feel like, well, am I wrong? Or are they wrong? Like you start questioning your own things, and then you're gonna go into some whole loop, and we don't want to go from there. Like I don't know. I don't know,
Yeah, I think that's enough of that kind of talk.
bruh.
Kind of took up the whole podcast, though.
I mean, it is a serious situation.
Yeah, but we were gonna talk about food.
Nah.
Like, and the first time we tried to talk about food, that didn't go well either.
Oh no,
That,
yeah, because of the
that was the
internet
part where we had
issues.
the internet problems, but
Yeah.
still, we need to talk about food at one point because food is great.
Well, food
And
is great, but going on hand to hand, what do you think about this? If you're a racist, okay? I'm just
what?
saying that. No, I'm just no. I'm saying that you are, but I say just in general to a person who is racist, right? Or
Okay.
likes to discriminate. There was a TikTok. I found this so funny. Again, me in the pothole of TikTok, right? Because TikTok is funny as hell. Um,
Do you post on TikTok?
I want to start doing that again. I did post for a while. I mean, a bit here and there. I want to go back.
Uh huh.
Um, yeah. But here's the thing. So there's a comedian. They just showed a really short clip of this comedian on TikTok. They said if you don't like immigrants, okay, don't like immigrants. That's fine. Stay there and don't like immigrants. But there should be a law, a rule that if you don't like immigrants, you're not allowed to eat their food. You're not allowed to wear their clothes. You're not allowed to listen to their music, to watch their movies, their shows. You're not allowed to touch anything that has to do made by, produced by, or brought to you by an immigrant.
Uh huh.
What do you think of that?
They would starve and die, and I don't know. You can't really do anything.
But think about it, just with food alone, if we want to bring food into the topic, like imagine that. You take everything that's made by other countries, like immigrant countries, right? Mexico, the Dominican Republic, China, Japan, what's another country? Egypt. Greek. You take all of that stuff out. What the hell does America have left in the food aspect of it all?
Apple pie. That's the American food, right?
Is
As
it?
American as apple pie. That's the saying. I don't know if it's actually made by Americans.
I don't think so because hamburgers is Germany,
Right,
pizza's Italian,
but apple pie.
but apple pie is it American?
I don't know. There's also sweet tea.
Isn't sweet tea Southern, which comes from other places?
I don't know.
See, if we're starting to question, it's because what is left in America?
The country of immigrants.
You mean the stolen land?
The melting pot of destruction.
Oh, that reminds me as well. There was another TikTok, or it's a fucking TikTok. There's another TikTok where it was like, um, the United States telling Mexico basically like, we fought for our country. We deserve to wear this flag. What did you guys do? I literally just sat there, looked around the room like, you're saying we didn't deserve our flag? Because what did you do to get your flag? You fought against the British, right? Yeah. You did that. But the land wasn't even yours to begin with. So what were you fighting the British for? Oh no, I'm sorry. You stole the land that land belonged to the Native Americans. You stole that first, claimed it as yours, even though it technically still isn't yours. Fought against the British to be able to still live on that land, on stolen land.
With the help of the French.
With the help of the fucking French, okay? You didn't do this shit yourself, boo boo. So what did you do? Oh, I'm sorry. Then years later, you go on the opposite side after you purchased the Louisiana thing called the Louisiana Purchase, right? You
It
did
was
that.
like, what was it, like 3 cents an acre
I
that we bought
believe
it
so.
for?
I think they sold it to. I mean, Napoleon sold it to um America for what? How much was it? It wasn't for a lot. It was very, very cheap because he just needed money for his war that he was fighting and did not want to have a headache of thinking about his American land, quote
Right.
unquote. So he sold it for very cheap. America basically took it for like a steal. It was like $500,000 or something like that.
Well, I think it was like 18 million or something, but it turns out to be like super cheap per acre.
Yeah, exactly. So once America took
Because
Native
that was like
American land.
basically the entire Midwest.
Yeah, exactly. So once they take Native American land, they move on to where the Louisiana is. Search that up, which according to what I remember, there was nothing there, right?
Swampland.
Swampland. Yeah, nobody wanted to move there, but you know what? Whatever. Then when people moved there, they realized they had Mexican territory as their next door neighbors.
Right.
Oh, and they wanted Texas and Florida, which also belonged to Mexico. FYI, motherfuckers. If you guys forgot about that, because a lot of people, and I don't know, because here's the thing I know a lot of people say Native Americans as both sides, Mexico and the Native Americans here, right? But then there's a lot of people who tend to forget Mexico's even part of that Native American tribe because it was, I believe, the Aztecs who were up here in the United States. Well, nowadays, the United States, right? Where
Uh huh.
California, New Mexico, and all of that stuff, right? Arizona.
Was it the Aztecs? I
It
thought
was,
they died out before that, and it was like someone
no, that
else.
was the Mayans.
I thought the Aztecs too.
The
Like,
Mayans died out first.
yeah, the mines disappeared in like the something hundreds, but then like the Aztecs also died out like the 14 or 1500s.
Well, I just know, but my thing is that like they were still there before the British came. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like even if they did die out, Mexico was the territorial land of that section. Like even before they came to America, quote unquote America, right? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. They were the Native Americans.
They were the natives. So that's what I'm saying. Like some people do say natives for both the native tribe that was on this side of the United States and then the native tribes that were on the opposite side of the United States, quote unquote. Because I don't know what else to call this country. I mean, this land,
I
but
mean, it
America right now.
I mean, it's North and South America, so the whole landmass is the Americas, so technically Native Americans, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
But like
And
still the Native American term usually refers to what the people that were initially called Indians.
Yeah, 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 I know. But by the time the Americans, right, crossed over to the Louisiana Purchase, they noticed that it was now, because by that time it was Mexico. It wasn't natives anymore, because it was still native land, but now evolved to Mexico um, at that time.
Uh huh.
Like Mexico nowadays. With like their crappy government. Like honestly, I will shit on Mexico's government. I can do that, okay? Because Mexico never had a really good government, except when it was, I think, during Benito Juarez time. The only native, like if you wanted to call, like the only actual full blood Indian, right, was the president of Mexico. He actually had a good term, because everyone else has some type of European, which is the Spaniard bloodline. He was the only full blown native
Uh
president.
huh.
Which again, he, from what I heard and from what my parents tell me, because they learned history of Mexico, that he was one of the greatest presidents ever. Which that makes me feel proud. Because, like, the natives weren't the problem then. I'm just saying. But, yeah, so here's the thing. By that time, Spain came over to Mexico, to Aztecs and Mayans, came, screwed everything up. But think about it this way: Mexico was fighting their own fucking battle. They had their own battle. Once they finished that battle, they wanted to kind of, relax, fix their crap as best as they could. But then once America came, they did their whole little scheme, because it was a scheme that made Mexico go into war with America.
Yeah, they invaded the land and then tried to play the victim and
Exactly.
started the war.
They literally had their military forces dress up as stereotypical Mexicans, had one of them shoot an American soldier, I believe, or civilian. A Mexican, I mean, United States soldier, and then put the blame on Mexico for killing one of their own, right? Of our own.
Uh huh.
Ill. Don't like saying that. But that's when the whole, because America already had the, we want this whole land to ourselves. Fuck you, Mexico. You're in our way. We're going to steal this shit from you, but we're not going to tell you we're going to steal it. We're going to make you want to give it to us. And not even want. We're going to force you to give it to us, whether you like it or not. So that's when the Mexican American War started. Mexico lost because, you know what? The United States, they're a bunch of very crazy people. Um, and Mexico was not advanced in their weapons and technology by then, especially because, again, they were trying to fix their own situation, so they didn't have a stabilized military to even think about having another country come and invade.
Right.
Now, Texas is another place I want to, like, kind of trash talk here, because Texas didn't want to be part of the United States, but also didn't want to be part of Mexico.
Uh huh.
Texas didn't want to be part of Mexico because Mexico did not allow slavery. Mexico was highly against slavery, but the United States was going through something as well, where they did have slavery, but that was quickly trying to die out. Like, bro, not quickly. It was years of suffering, don't get me wrong, but Texas also wanted to be its own country.
Uh huh.
Texas was very, very small. I
Can
mean,
Texas become its own country now? Like, can we just move them somewhere else?
I mean, Texas tried. They failed because the United States was not going to let them be its own country, and Mexico still owned them.
I don't know. That there's not much good that comes out from Texas,
Oh my
I
gosh.
would say.
Not trying to shit talk on anyone who lives in Texas right now. Kind of. I mean,
I
don't get
mean,
me wrong. We shit talk about you, New York, all the time too. Don't worry. We should
they
talk about
do
everywhere.
have a few cities where um, some people are trying to get it moved over to democracy and not hatred anymore, but
Which is a good thing, which is a good start. A
right.
good start.
I don't know how well that's working out for them though, with all the gerrymandering and other political stuff that prevents them from becoming a blue state, but it's probably better off to just cut off Texas.
Right. And also, Texas has a lot of Mexicans over there. I love that because Texas is a Republican state and they don't like Mexicans, but Mexicans is a very big population over there. The Hispanic community is a big population over there. That's what I don't understand. States that are heavy on the Hispanic, what do you call it? Citizens, Hispanic citizens, right? Or civilians.
Uh huh.
Hate them.
Well, it's because they see or hear about or believe that there's like a lot of illegal immigrants coming in
But the
because they're
problem
so
is,
close to Mexico.
no,
So like
yeah.
they equate that to like all Mexicans, and just like it's just when you're around someone that you hate, then you just that hate festers, I think.
Oh, most definitely. But like, a lot of those same people cross the border on the weekends to go and shop in the states of Mexico that are
Right.
closer to the border. Like again, make things make sense. I don't understand. Again, Mexico stuff is cheaper. You can go in and come back the same day. Your little mini vacation again, but why? If you hate Mexico so much, why the hell cross the border then? To go do your little Saturday shopping. Yay, woohoo, yay, tequila, bye. And then come back and then still be like, fuck you. Make things make sense. If you don't like us, then don't go to our fucking country then. I'm just saying.
They do whatever benefits them and don't care about anyone else.
It's just mind blowing to me that that's why I 100% agree with the rule. If you don't like immigrants, you don't like their country, then don't go there. Don't vacation there. Don't listen to their music. Don't eat their food. Don't watch their shows. Don't do anything. Don't have anything to do with the people you don't like.
Right. And I think that was pretty funny what happened with the whole Brexit thing. Uh, so now that like the European Union is enforcing those rules and restrictions that like British citizens don't automatically just get to live in another country. They have to actually apply for like the
Hmm.
immigrant status and like get a residency. So they kicked people out because they didn't apply for the immigrant status through the correct channel. So they were all crying about that. Like, oh, I didn't think it would affect me.
Well, no, Sherlock. Did you not read the terms and conditions of the 50 pages that they send it to you before you click confirm?
Right. No one reads that.
No one reads that, but I know what I'm signing up for. You know,
Uh
it's like the iTunes at the very end. Agree to the terms and conditions. Yeah, I'm not gonna scroll through this. I don't got time. But like, basically, you did that to yourself. You didn't read through it. That's
okay.
on you.
So you agreed not to use iTunes as a way to launch a nuclear device? Because
Is
that's in
that
the
part
terms
of
and
it?
conditions. Yeah.
Is it?
Yep.
Wait, what was it again?
Uh, like you agree not to use iTunes as a platform for launching a nuclear device. I believe is what it says, or something
Oh,
like that.
I agree. Why would I do that?
Right, but like that's just something that's put in there.
That's weird. No, even South Park kind of made a joke about it. Like one of the terms and agreement conditions was like, "Oh, you agreed to be used as a centipede experiment in this crazy, mad,
The
crazy
Human
scientist."
Centipede.
Yeah, the human centipede. Like you'll be
Did you
randomly
see that
selected.
movie?
I saw it. It
I
was
have not.
gross, and then I saw the human centipede too, and that was even
Why?
gross.
Why did you go?
I didn't go. I didn't go. It was Netflix.
Oh, you just saw it because it was there.
I saw it because I was with my best friend at the time, and we wanted to watch something because we were waiting for her boyfriend,
Uh huh.
and we saw it, and we were like, "Ew, what a shitty movie!" No pun intended. But
But you kept
yeah.
watching.
But we saw no. This was our reaction at the end because we had saw that movie first, and then we saw the Bonnie and Clyde movie.
Uh huh.
Different aspects of what we watched that day, but yeah, that's what happened.
Right.
Uh, but yeah, I don't know. I would hope America gets better. Will we one day ever be the greatest country that we ever said that we were? Honestly, we're the only country who believes that, to be honest.
I can't
No,
wait until our consciousness becomes one and we are uploaded into the cloud and forever a digital
no,
entity, and we don't have to worry about these psychopaths anymore.
bruh. True, bruh.
I mean,
I
that's how human immortality would happen. if
Okay,
we become one with the ether.
but we're not supposed to be immortal. If we
Yeah.
were if we were supposed to be that, then we would have been that to begin with. We have all a end. We all have a time limit. We're not allowed to go more than what we're supposed to go. See, that's the thing that I'm scared about technology, also with that, like the crazy ideas and minds of all of these like intelligent people. We're playing with fire. We're gonna get burned real quick. It doesn't seem like it now, but we will. I know if crazy stuff like that is gonna happen, I wanna be dead by then.
Uh-huh.
I don't wanna see it. I don't wanna mess, because I believe in God. I'll say this. I don't wanna mess with God's will.
You
If
don't want to
God,
see aliens?
no, no, I'll see it from wherever I am in the afterlife.
Uh-huh.
I'll be the ghost in the Among Us game. I'll just haunt everybody and watch from the sidelines.
I don't know. It would be cool to see if there's other life.
I mean, I know there is. There is other life. That's a given. That's an obvious statement because us humans, we suck. Do you really think that we're the only ones living in this whole galaxy?
We also can't be the best that there is.
We aren't. We definitely not all the best we ever. We were, but again, that's if you believe in the Bible. We were the best that there was. We fucked it up. We fucked up our own paradise. I'm just saying. So
Uh-huh.
we're definitely not the best that there is anymore. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but we still haven't found other life, so,
Well, there is, because we wouldn't have all this talk of aliens and stuff of the government hiding things like this if it wasn't partly true.
I don't know.
There's always truth to every story. There's always truth to every joke. There's always truth to everything that you give off. Again, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I mean, there's been like less UFO sightings and stuff as technology's gotten better and there's cameras everywhere, so it just seems like there's more stories than actual evidence of anything.
But as well as it was easier to hide when there wasn't enough intelligence in the human race. You know what I mean? Back then we had cameras, but you could always fight against it.
Right.
Why show
If
yourself?
it was easier to hide, then why did we have more sightings and more alien information all of a sudden back
I mean,
then?
think about this. If you were looking at the enemy, because let's say we are the enemy to aliens, right? Would you rather you create a whole shit show in your enemy's own home, or make sure that they know you guys are out there? What's the better strategy? Create a whole shit show in your enemy's territory, or make it be shown that you are the enemy, you are there, you exist? Because back then it was a bunch of talk of all of these sightings, yes, but these people are crazy. Only crazy people have seen this. So we put ourselves against each other because we just don't believe it, even if it was right there.
Right, but what would be the point of crashing into Earth if they had the technology to do interstellar travel? They wouldn't be crashing into Earth,
Shit happens.
I
Do you
guess.
think they are the best of the best too? We make mistakes. Definitely everybody else is going to make mistakes. I don't ever think one species is completely perfect. There's always flaws. What if it, because if I was an alien, I would have crashed into Earth too. Because I don't know how to drive. I mean, I know how to
Right.
drive, but I don't know how to drive like that. I would have been watching some Naruto, saw the one scene, I saw Sasuke freaking get smacked. I would have been like, oh no. Then I look at the fucking wheel and I'm like, oh no, I'm about to crash, and I crash. That
Why
would be me.
don't don't watch shows while you drive? What?
Listen. It's a UFO. I can see the whole. There's no building in the sky.
Oh
And
my
then by the
god.
time I realize it, I'm already 5 feet away from the ground.
Don't
That's just
don't
me.
become a pilot
That's just
ever.
me. That no, and I don't plan to. I already know myself. But that's just me. What if I was that alien? What if that alien was me? I crashed.
They were they were checking out some thoughts on Instagram and crashed.
I was checking out some TikToks and crashed. Like that's
Uh
literally what that happened. Like you never know. There was something funny on the app. You never
oh my
know.
god. That's the future.
That's the future. Literally, there's no perfect species. Unless you believe in the Bible, then angels and God are the perfect species, but no other thing is perfect.
Uh huh.
But what a shitty episode. I'm kidding.
Uh.
To be
Okay.
honest, there's too many problems. You can't even just turn your head and pretend to ignore it, honestly.
I
And,
guess.
and if we ignore it, then we're just going to be part of the problem. Whee! Okay.
But this is supposed to be fun.
We are having fun.
Well,
Shit
this is
talking
this is
America.
fun. Not for me.
Oh, I have fun.
Oh,
That was fun.
well, that's good.
We'll have your fun next time. We'll talk about food. We'll talk about all the ramen, all the sandwiches, all the McDonald's, everything. We'll actually have a good podcast about food
Okay.
next week. All right. So thank you guys so much for listening to this week's Otaku Tea podcast. Please let us know if you agree with any of the things we basically said on this podcast. And if you don't and want to shit talk about us, go for it. The comment section is right there. But if you are not on YouTube listening to us, then we have all these other platforms that you can check us out on.
Yeah. I don't know if I need to list them out, but basically,
Just the
it's like
main ones.
the main ones are, well, there's YouTube,
YouTube.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts, and some others. Check them
Yes.
out. Find out your favorite podcast platform and
Leave
let
us
us
a rating.
know. Yeah, let us know by rating us so we know if you're out there listening to us,
Like an
even
alien.
even from another planet.
Imagine aliens. They find out we have YouTube. Otaku Tea Podcast. Click the search button. They found this and they're like, oh snap. They caught onto us.
Right.
No, I'm not that smart. So if I found out your whole plan aliens, don't come after me. Don't worry. I'm a loser. I'm not going to do anything. I have nowhere near the government power to even try to fight you, bruh. Don't come after me.
Uh-huh.
But anyways, we will see you guys next week. Thank you guys for listening in and have a good day. Don't let the depression of being in the United States, if you happen to live in the United States, get to you. Always do your best. Always do positive things for everybody. Keep each other safe. And please, if April 24th is actually a real thing, please be careful for all of you out there and every other day.
Yeah. Avoid the psychopaths. Stay
Please.
stay with the people that you know care about others so that we can create a loving community of
Just
everyone.
just be smart.
Uh,
Just
be
please.
be smart, be safe.
Use your noodle. That's all
Uh,
I'm asking.
yeah. And have a good day.
Have a good day. Bye. Nee.
Bye.